Samsung just quietly made a move that could completely change the timeline of Apple's first foldable iPhone, and it's happening earlier than anyone expected. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. Instead of sticking to the original schedule, Samsung is now reportedly starting mass production of foldable iPhone displays in May, not July. That's a pretty big shift. And when you're talking about Apple's most anticipated product in years, even a small change like this can mean a lot more behind the scenes. So why does this matter? Because timing is everything for Apple. The foldable iPhone isn't just another product. It's Apple entering a category it has deliberately avoided for years. While Samsung has been refining foldables with devices like the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, Apple has been sitting back, watching, and waiting. Now, with this earlier production timeline, it looks like Apple is finally locking things in. And here's the interesting part. Samsung is currently the only company supplying these displays. Not LG Display, not BOE, just Samsung. That tells you two things. First, Apple is putting a lot of trust in Samsung's foldable display tech. And second, Samsung is in a very powerful position here, because it's not just a supplier, it's also Apple's biggest competitor in the foldable space. Think about that for a second. Samsung is building the core component for a device that could directly compete with its own upcoming phones, like the expected Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 and even the rumored Galaxy Z Wide Fold. That's a tricky balance. On one hand, Samsung benefits financially from Apple's success. On the other hand, it risks strengthening a rival. So why move production earlier? There are a couple of possibilities. One is purely strategic. Samsung might want to clear its production lines early so it can focus on its own next-gen foldable displays, possibly even new crease-free panels that could show up in its upcoming devices. If that's the case, then this move isn't just about helping Apple, it's about staying ahead in the foldable race. Another possibility is that Apple itself pushed for this change. Apple is known for being extremely cautious with new technologies, especially something as complex as a foldable display. Starting production earlier gives it more time to test, refine, and avoid last-minute issues. In other words, this could be Apple playing it safe. And honestly, that would make sense, because the stakes here are huge. The foldable iPhone isn't just another iPhone. It's Apple's answer to an entire category that Samsung has been dominating for years. And Apple doesn't usually enter a market unless it believes it can either redefine it or at least match the best. We've seen this before. When Apple launched the Apple Vision Pro, it didn't necessarily dominate overnight, but it completely shifted how people think about XR devices. The same could happen here with foldables. But there's also risk. Foldables are still not perfect. Durability concerns, visible creases, high prices, these are all real issues. Samsung has spent years improving these things, and even now it's not flawless. So if Apple comes in and doesn't deliver something noticeably better, it could struggle. At the same time, if Apple nails the design, especially with its rumored non-standard approach, it could shake up the entire market. And that's why this production shift matters more than it seems. It's not just about starting a couple of months earlier. It's a signal that things are moving forward faster, that decisions are being finalized, and that Apple's foldable iPhone is getting very close to becoming real. Meanwhile, Samsung is preparing its own counterattack, with new foldables expected around July, including possible design changes and improved displays. The timing is almost perfect for a direct clash. So we could be looking at something we haven't really seen before, a true head-to-head moment between Apple and Samsung in the foldable space. And that's exciting, because for years, foldables have felt like a niche dominated by one player. But if Apple enters the game properly, it could push innovation faster, force prices to adjust, and make foldables more mainstream. At the end of the day, this isn't just about a production schedule. It's about two tech giants preparing for their next big battle, and it looks like that battle might be starting sooner than we thought. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.